Let's take a look at this 128 acres in Pepin County, Wisconsin, and how it fits into a deer day. That's always important when we look at a property. How do the deer look at this property? How does this property fit into a deer's day? One significant feature that we look at is most of the agriculture in this area is either north, west, or south of the property. And what that means to us is that if we identify which one of these row crop sources is prime for a certain time of year, we're going to know where the bulk of our deer are going to spend the night. If this is the only cut corn field in town, all of our deer are probably heading there. If this is the only green bean field in town, all of our deer that are on us and outside of us are probably heading there and through us. So very easy to do a little bit of homework on what's growing where to figure out where you should be sitting on this property September, October, December when food sources are hot. This property, another super important feature how it fits into a deer day is it's located on this creek drainage here. Creek drainages, river drainages are always major draws for harvesting mature whitetail bucks for several reasons. One of those is they always provide a lot of contiguous cover to move on and off the property. All of these drainages are lined with trees, which gives the deer some shelter to move through here. They also create significant bedding opportunities. With the different curves and bends in the river, what the deer want to do is they take some of these high bank spots where they can see everything down below and smell what's behind them so they're safe from all directions. So that makes it very attractive for bedding. When the does bed there, the bucks are going to cruise there. River bottoms, creek drainages can also create excellent access. From 10 up here down to the southwest corner of this property is about a half-mile canoe ride. From Road O down here, walking the creek bottom up is about a quarter mile. So that gives us access from 1, 2, 3, 4 different spots on the property, which is always significant. It is very difficult if you have only one access on a property this size. If you want to hunt this part of the property and you had to walk the whole thing to get here, you're blowing up deer traffic the whole way, and that creates a problem. Another pretty cool thing about this property, it's enrolled in a WRP program which expires in 2026, 5 years from now. Most of these WRP easements are perpetual, they last forever. This one is going to expire in 5 years, making a very good financial investment because it opens up opportunity. A lot of people don't know in these WRP programs you have the opportunity to do things to the property to help the wildlife. One of those things that's been accomplished on this property is the introduction of 2 food plots. And where you put a food is often more important than what you plant. And the significance of where these plots are at is when these deer are traveling to these exterior food sources, if they're bedding on our property or they're bedding on the neighbors and they're traveling through, that's a pit stop they're going to make. In the evening, they are headed to food. If you give them food along the way in an area that they feel is safer than these wide open fields, in an area where they don't have to cross this road till after dark, you give them food in those areas and it becomes a part of their travel pattern. And with the number of ways you can get on and off this property, we can access these plots with different winds to take full advantage of our plans based upon what's going on outside the property for row crops, knowing that the deer are going to slide through here. Knowing those things and how to tie them together, it lets us create a plan to get in and out of those spots without spooking those deer. A quick look at the terrain map of this property. Again, looking how the creek bottom winds through it opens up some obvious funnels that we can harvest mature whitetail bucks in during the rut. Just for starters, these stands, rut stands, or bed to feed stands located around inside turns in the river are going to funnel the local deer past us. They don't want to swim through this river, walk across this island, swim through the river to get here. They're going to walk these lines and they're going to avoid that. And these inside turns, outside turns become obvious points to hunt, bed to feed, and during the rut. Here's a topographic feature that's also obvious. With these steep banks here, these deer don't want to walk up and down these steep banks if they don't have to. This transition area through here, where it's more gradual ascent from top to bottom, is an obvious place for whitetails to cruise, bed to feed, and during the rut. Once you fall in love with this property and the WRP contract expires, it opens up a lot of doors for us to make improvements to the property with knowledge of how the local deer herd likes to use it. And that's key. If you take a couple years to figure out a property, know where the deer like to bed on certain winds, how they cruise during the rut, we can build upon those things. Build upon that combined with our access. That knowledge combined with our access and how we know our property fits in the neighborhood allows us to make improvements to an area that really benefit the property long term and make it hunt the best it can hunt. For more information on this property or others like it in the area, you're going to want to contact Mike Law at the Coulee Land Company.